Yeah, please. Thank you. Thank you very much. Welcome, council, staff, members of the public, those watching at home. The Committee of the Whole Planning Public Meeting, Wednesday, November 5th, 2025. So we're going to go to confirmation of the agenda. I'm going to look to the Deputy Clerk to identify any items to add or delete to the agenda, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. There are no items to add or delete this evening.
Thank you. So we have a recommendation that the agenda for the Committee of the Whole Planning Public Meeting of November 5th, 2025 be confirmed as circulated. Councillor Bez, Councillor Cox, all those in favor? That's carried. Thank you, Council. Are there any disclosures of pecuniary interest? Okay, I'm not seeing any. Okay, so we have the Committee of the Whole Planning Public Meeting item. So this is for the public's participation tonight. It's PM1, Committee of the Whole Planning Public Meeting application for zoning bylaw amendment, temporary use bylaw, temporary garden center, Michael Sablicki, care of Dan Stone, Thorstone Consulting Services, Inc., 63208 line file number D142025-003. The purpose of this report is to provide the committee and the public with background information regarding an application for a zoning bylaw amendment, temporary use bylaw, to permit a temporary garden center on a portion of 63208 line. So I'd like to go to the clerk now for ask for confirmation of notice, please, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Your Worship. In accordance with the requirements of the Planning Act, a notice of public meeting and notice of complete application was circulated on October 15th, 2025, and the corresponding signage was placed on the subject property.
Thank you very much. So I'm going to go to Jeremy Bonham, Planner, Planning and Building. So Jeremy, I'll hand it over to you, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. Good evening, Your Worship, members of council and members of the public. I'm the planner overseeing application file D14-2025-003 for a proposed temporary use zoning bylaw amendment for the subject property 63208 line in the community of Beaton. The temporary zoning bylaw amendment proposes to temporarily rezone a portion of the subject property from special study area to corridor commercial. This application is to support the development of a temporary garden center on the site. The temporary zoning bylaw amendment would be in effect for 3 years and extensions can be applied for. Staff have received no written public comments regarding these applications to date. Staff will continue to work with the applicant to address any received comments from tonight or after tonight. And staff will utilize any received comments to help inform a future recommendation report to council. Tonight we have Bonnie Tang of Thorstone Consulting Services on behalf of the property owner, Michael Zablicki, who has prepared a presentation to speak further about the proposed amendment. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. So I will go to Bonnie Tang. You're going to make a presentation, and our deputations are 7 minutes long. I'm sure you're advised that. Thank you.
Good evening, council members, members of the public. My name is Bonnie Tang. I am a registered professional planner at Thorstone Consulting Services. I'm here tonight on behalf of the property owner of 63208 line in terms of the temporary use zoning bylaw amendment application. So this slide just shows the official plan context for the subject property. The subject property is outlined in red, and it is designated as special study area as well as environmental protection 1. In terms of the area for the temporary use, that would be located in the southeastern corner where it's shown in gray, and that is within the special study area. In terms of the air photography, the subject property is currently lived on by the property owner. His house is located around the center of the photo and is near the residential parcels. The area for the temporary use is located in the southeastern corner and is in that area that's currently hatched. So for the proposal, we are proposing a garden center as a temporary use on the southeastern portion of the property. The garden center would include temporary building for office and sales, greenhouse, and other areas for outdoor storage and sales display. In addition, we are requesting permission for an accessory use of a landscape contractor's yard and shop associated with the garden center use. In addition, no water or sanitary servicing is required for the temporary use. This is a conceptual site plan of what is being proposed with the garden center. So the garden center would include items such as the greenhouse, open area for nursery stock, some areas for materials, parking area in the front yard, as well as a sales trailer and some landscape equipment storage. So the details of this area will be further refined through the site plan control process. So with the temporary use zoning bylaw amendment, we are requesting permission to rezone the eastern portion of the property from special study area to a site-specific commercial corridor zone. We are requesting permission for a garden center as well as a landscape contractor's shopper yard on a temporary basis for just 3 years. As part of this application, we are requesting site-specific permissions to regulate the temporary use. That would include a minimum height of the proposed building to be just 1 story instead of 2, to not have a minimum first floor height, as well as permission for a parking area in the front yard. We have done review of the PPS, the upper tier and town official plan policies, and found that the proposed use does conform to all of these applicable policies. In particular, we have reviewed section 10.11.1 of the town official plan as it relates to policies for temporary use, and we found that the proposed temporary use does conform to those policies. Apologies for that typo on the screen. But in conclusion, the temporary nature of the proposed use does allow for the property to be further comprehensively developed in the future. The zoning bylaw amendment application does conform with the purpose and intent of all relevant planning documents, including the town's official plan. We do look forward to addressing any concern from the public or council, and we do also understand that the site plan control application will be submitted after the zoning bylaw amendment process to work out those details. In addition, the property owner is here with me tonight in case there are any specific questions about the property. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Tang, for your presentation. Is there any questions from council in regards to clarification? Councillor Masters?
Thank you, Worship. Thanks for that presentation. I think it'd be kind of neat to have a garden at that end of town. You know, I think it would offer a great service. My question is the ingress and exit of customer vehicles coming off the highway, off the 8th line there, into the parking lot. If there's going to be any sort of a merge to go into there. I tell you why, because that's a pretty busy line, and there's some pretty heavy transport on there sometimes, and having vehicles sort of having to slow down to a stop to pull off the highway could cause issues in my estimation. So that's what I wondered, if you had some plan to have some kind of a merge off the highway to allow vehicles to get off the highway before they turn into the exit.
Go ahead, please.
Through Mr. Mayor, we have had a traffic impact brief prepared for this proposal. In that brief, the consultant found that the 8th line is actually operating under capacity, so that the increase in these parking or people coming onto the property for this use wouldn't impact the roadway.
Thank you. And I'd look to Manager Cosgrove too. Those issues will be developed through site plan and as we go through the process.
To you, Your Worship, that is correct. The site plan process will look at vehicular traffic, as well as Section 10.11 of the official plan has requirements for temporary use, and traffic flow is one of those criteria that we'll take a look at as well.
Thank you very much, Manager. Councillor Biss, please.
Thank you, Worship. Through your Worship to Ms. Tang. So I took a look at your, if you can go to page 5, someone just maybe easier for us to all visualize it. So I see on the northwest corner there, you've got some material bins. I guess you'll be they be constructed out of concrete. So through your worship to Ms. Tang, would these bins contain aggregate, sand, topsoil, that type of thing?
Through Mr. Mayor, yes. So as indicated on that slide, we are proposing some mix, some gravel. The details of those items, I think I could defer to the property owner to explain what exactly he proposes to put over there.
So what you're putting in is not really not a big concern to me. What concerns me, though, however, through your worship to Ms. Tang, is the fact that we're going to have large delivery trucks that are going to be coming in to dump these different things, whether it be topsoil, aggregate, sand, whatever, for use for people using the garden center. In addition, may I ask, what is the proposed parking area? Is it going to be gravel or paved?
Go ahead, please.
Through Mr. Mayor, at this time, we haven't confirmed whether it will be parking whether it will be gravel or paved, but that's something we will work out through the site plan process. But in response to your question, we can take that back and get back to you on exactly what will be the type of parking there.
Thank you. And finally, through your worship to Ms. Tang, when you take a look at the fact that, if we're looking at a gravel parking area plus trucks that are going to be delivering topsoil, aggregate, sand, whatever, in kind of dovetailing what Councillor Master said about the type of traffic, I have a concern also with when they come out, these trucks, et cetera, dumping sand, soil, dirt all over the road and cleaning that. Is this something that planning is aware of and can try to mitigate in order to avoid having bylaw out there every weekend?
Through Mr. Mayor, well, the area that is going to be where the materials are to be put is located a little further away from the driveway, or from 8th line itself. So I think that there is potential, if there is any potential for any sort of spillage or dust, I think it would be located in that center of the garden center rather than on 8th line.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there any other comments or questions from members of council? Councilor, sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, through you. This property or land has been used as storage in the last few years, and I see that there's already kind of an established gravel parking lot. Some of the boats and stuff have been removed that were stored there previously. I'm just wondering, what's the nature of the current zoning on the property, the special study area zoning?
I'm going to go to Jeremy, please. Mr. Bonham. Thank you.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, to Councillor Cox. The special study area it's interesting zone. It's through a special exception in the official plan that basically, if you can prove it can be done through a zoning bylaw amendment, you can do it, sort of thing. Okay. Yeah, that's it in a nutshell. The previous or permitted uses currently are existing agriculture uses in the zone and or existing uses and non-intensive agricultural uses. So if it was operating prior to it becoming a special study area, it's permitted to continue.
Are you good? You're a good manager? Sorry, go ahead.
Through you, Mayor, may I offer some additional information? Thank you. Through you, Mayor, to Councillor Cox. The special study area is a part of actually an official plan amendment number 42, which was approved by the county, I believe, in 2010, which sought to establish a flexible space just outside of the urban boundary. This official plan amendment was brought up outside of the normal parameters of updating an official plan. So no settlement area boundary expansions were brought up at this time, but they were looking to establish that flexible space in this special study area. So part of the tests as outlined in the official plan for Special Area 6, as this is, set up a framework for someone to provide reports, plans, or studies to support the use that they would like to put on the property. So it's quite a different official plan designation and zoning structure as well than what we typically have. So I hope that provides a little bit more background for you.
No, thank you very much. Okay, I don't see any other questions from members of council. Are there any members of the public wishing to speak to this application? Come on up to the microphone. No, you can turn them. And can we have your name for the record, please?
This is Michael Zabalicki.
Thank you.
I'm the owner of the property. I just want to answer a question to the gravel trucks. I understand your concern, but it's not a fill site like a development or something where trucks are coming in and out as fast as possible. They dump and go, dump and go. No, it would not be like that. A large truck comes, dumps all the material, and we make sure all the material stays because it's paid for. He cleans it out and then leaves. And then that material is enough there to last, 6 months to a year, depending on how sales go. Sometimes even further than, longer than that. That's the only answer.
Okay, thank you very much. Any other questions from members of the public? Okay, so for those in attendance and those at home, any person requesting further notice of the decision taken on this matter or further notice of future meetings on this matter must notify the planning department in writing, please. So we have a recommendation that report number PD 2025-29 be received. And further, that the presentation of Bonnie Tang Planner, Thorstone Consultant Services be received. Further, that staff continue to work through any issues pertaining to application file D142025-003 prior to submitting a recommendation report to the Committee of the Whole. Councillor Masters, would you move that? Deputy Mayor, would you second that? Thank you. All those in favor? That's carried. Thank you. And we have an adjournment that the meeting adjourned at 6:17. And Councillor Gabrick, you'll move that. Councillor Brappen, the second. Okay, all those in favor? That's carried. Thank you very much for your time tonight, everyone.